Welcome to the Pittsburgh Gal Principal Podcast, where women school leaders and teachers come to share their school and classroom stories about teaching, learning, and leading. If you are a woman leader or teacher, I would love to have you on the show and share your story. Please connect with me on Twitter at eclaire_ahs or following my blog at pittsburghgalprincipal.wordpress.com. This is episode 11 of the Pittsburgh Gal Principal. Hope you enjoy my chat with Helen Wilt. Okay, everybody, I want to welcome Helen Wilt to the show today. She is an educator out of Houston, Texas. She's about to start her 26th year as a teacher. And next school year, she will continue as a 4th grade math and science teacher. Helen, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to talk to you and share your story. I mean, 26 years. That is very incredible and wonderful. So you probably have lots and lots of stories to share and lots of things that you've done in those 26 years. Can you just give us kind of a brief background of where you got started and, you know, some of the things that you've done along the way in the last 25 years?
Okay. Actually, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I think that's where you're from.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you graduate high school?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I might not use these headphones. Hold on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Is this better? Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, ditch the headphones, Helen. You're good.
Okay. You can hear me okay then?
Yep, you're perfect.
Okay, good. All right. So, yeah, actually, I'm from Monroeville.
Oh, okay.
Right outside of Pittsburgh.
Cool.
So, I graduated from Gateway. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I have.
No, okay. I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Graduated in 1991. And was looking for jobs all over Pennsylvania. You know, that's where I grew up. All the way to Harrisburg and back, and there were no teaching jobs available. Actually, we had a job fair, and our college sent us to like an expo, and there was a ton of school districts from all over the country needing teachers. They were, and I thought, hey, why not? You know, I'll interview. And so I interviewed, you know, with a bunch of them, and I interviewed in Arizona for an Arizona school district, Texas, Alaska, New Jersey, and Florida. Those were the big states looking for teachers.
Not North Carolina.
And I got offers from all of them.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I don't want to go with snow anymore, so I didn't go to Alaska. Miami wasn't the greatest area for, and New Jersey I didn't want to go to deal with that snow too. So I thought Arizona or Texas, and I just thought, hey, Texas is closer to Pennsylvania, and you know I can drive back, and I'll work down there a couple years, and then move back, and you know, I'll get my experience and move back. Well, here I am, 25 years, you know, starting my 26 years of teaching. You know, life has other plans. Well, God had other plans for me. So I ended up really loving it here. I started teaching in a district called named Aldine. I started as a 3rd grade teacher, then moved to 4th grade. I actually had the chance to move up with my class in 4th grade, which I loved. Absolutely loved taking those kids to 4th. And at that time, after I think it was 6 years, my principal asked me to be the skills specialist for the school, which in Texas is kind of like a testing coordinator / interventionist in that district. In that district. So for 2 years I did that, where I pulled small groups of kids and worked, you know, helping them in reading and math and getting them ready for the state test, but also modeling lessons for teachers. It was really cool. I mean, it was really neat because you got to work with the teachers and the kids, and I got to know everybody. Then I just decided to change districts because I'm kind of the kind of person that I kind of get bored in the same place for a long time, and I had been there for 8 years, and I thought it's time for a change. So a friend of mine had taught in this other district and said, "Come on down, you know, come over here, you'll love it." And so I interviewed and absolutely loved this district. I don't know if I'm supposed to name these districts, or is it okay? Okay, so I worked for Magnolia ISD for 16 years. Loved it. had the chance to work for a principal that was opening a new school, and he was only allowed to take four teachers with him, and he chose me. I got to go with him, which I was so excited. So we got to open a new school. He really was a big part of my professional growth, because he, believe it or not, I was kind of shy. I was an introverted child, shy around people. And he wanted me to be a team leader. And I was like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to do that. And he said, no, you can do it. I see it. I guess he saw something in me that I didn't see. And that's what I think a good leader, they do. And so I said, sure, okay, I'll do it for you, Mr. Campbell. And so I ended up being the team leader. And he taught me so much. I just love him to death. And so he then... I left that school to go to be math specialist at another school, which was really hard for me because I really enjoyed working with this principal. But I had to kind of go where my heart was leading me towards this. So for 6 years, I was the instructional math coach at another campus, which I really loved that job too, because that was kind of like the other job I had at the other district, where I got to do interventions with kids. And got to work with the teachers and model lessons, and I just had kids. I mean, kids and teachers both say they love math. That math seems to be the subject that everyone fears. And one of my biggest moments was when I had two teachers actually tell me they hated teaching math. They feared it. They never liked it in school. And they said, Helen, you made it. You showed me how easy it was to teach, and it's fun, and I really enjoy it now. And I just got goosebumps, and I was like, this is why I do this. This is it. And so, I taught there for 16 years, and then I decided, well, I really like this. Someone said, why don't you become a principal? You'd be really good. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And so I said, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I started my master's program, and I got my degree in 2013, and started interviewing for AP jobs, and nothing's panned out yet. I ended up switching districts again to a closer district, more progressive, really progressive in technology, which I absolutely love. My kids, we're 1-to-1 Chromebooks. It's amazing. So we just have so much technology and so much support. And so right now that's where I'm at. I'm hoping to one day in that district, become an assistant principal there. And so here I am. I don't know if I told you enough or too much or what, but
you can never share too much.
One cool thing. I just want to. I don't brag about it too much, but when I did open that school with Mr. Campbell, the staff, who I really didn't know, they nominated me for Teacher of the Year. So I got Teacher of the Year that year, and then I ended up being District Elementary Teacher of the Year, which was a really big honor. I was really. Here I was at the time, I think I was 36 or 37. Never had a trophy in my life. Here's kids now, they have 100,000 trophies from soccer and everything. And I'm like, my first little trophy, and I was so excited. And it was really cool. So I got to write a long paper and represent the district and the school. So that was really fun.
That is awesome. That's something to be excited about for sure.
Yeah. So
you said you opened a new school with this principal, Mr. Campbell. So I'm
right.
going to ask you a sort of big question, and something I've been thinking about a lot. And it's this idea of opening a new school, but opening a new school that you get to create. So I'm just wondering, if you were able to open a new school that you basically could build from the ground up, what would that look like? What would that include?
That is an awesome question. Oh my gosh. How much? And I have unlimited money. Okay, so.
The funds are not an issue.
Yeah, first of all, just being in the classroom for the years I have been, we never have enough room. So the people I don't know who designs these schools half the time. I don't think they've ever worked in a school. We need more space. We need more storage. We need more comfortable seating for kids, like different, just not these, chairs. We have flexible seating where the kids can have like a, reading center and couches and bean bags, and then some standing desks for those kids that want to stand. And then I would have, of course I'd have that technology, and I would have arts and music classes would be huge, because I think that's still so important, even though it's not academically tested. I think it's just the whole, the whole child is so important.
Absolutely.
And a lot of districts are getting rid of the art and music teachers around the country, which I'm sad about. But I would have the kids, there'd be an outdoor garden. We would go outside. There'd be a giant, oh my gosh, a big courtyard. We could have lessons outside. There'd be tables outside. There'd be great, wonderful, delicious food in the cafeteria, because that is a big thing of mine too. This cafeteria program, and the food is terrible. So, and I think when the kids are hungry and the kids have a bad meal, think about it. When you have a bad meal or you're hungry, you can't concentrate, right?
So
I think those, that's a really.
You don't like those chicken patty sandwiches?
Oh. We have a thing called steak fingers down here. I don't know if you guys have steak fingers. Steaks don't have fingers. Cows don't have fingers. But they've created this thing down in Texas where it's kind of like a ground meat thing, and they're shaped like fingers, long sticks of steak, kind of like chicken fried steak. I don't know. It's not appetizing. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for the kids. Anyway, what else would I put in my school besides that? Just the most wonderful teachers. If I could pull all the teachers that I've been talking with on Twitter and the administrators and the wonderful educators, it would be like better than the Ron Clark Academy. You've heard of that, right?
Sure.
In Atlanta. It would just be fun. It would be engaging. Every teacher would be excited to be there. No one would want to go home. The kids would just be they wouldn't want to miss a day, even if they had a fever or they were sick. This would be the greatest place. And that's always, I think that's a lot of teachers' dream, to open their own school. To be like, I want to open my own school and do my own thing and not have to follow someone else's orders or follow this. I want to do this, and I would love to make it so homey and so comfortable and so safe for them, that they felt so safe and so loved, and then they felt empowered to learn, and that everyone was so positive, and we would just have that community, that sense of community, and that sense of love. And I think that would be, you got to have that. If you don't have the relationships and the trust with the kids, that comes first. The learning follows after that.
Sure.
So,
what would your school not include?
Not include.
Like, what would you take away? What would you make just disappear?
What I take, if I could, probably I know we have to have testing, but I think the pressures of these high stakes testings that we have, that make people sick. They make kids cry. They make kids. They really do. I would take that away and replace it with some kind of other assessment, ongoing assessment, e-portfolios, some kind of way to assess them that was more real. Not this one test that was one day and had A, B, C, D choices. Because to me, that's not a valid test. It doesn't have validity. I took educational tests and measurements in college years ago, and they said that was the worst kind of test to give. That was just multiple choice. You have to give open-ended questions and fill in the blanks and true and false, and just a mix of things. And I think I would take the test that they have right now, and I'd revamp it and just assess my children a different way. Sure. Let's look at them, the whole child.
Absolutely. Now, you said that you would want all wonderful teachers in your school. So I'm curious, from your viewpoint, what makes a wonderful teacher?
Someone that's willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, positive attitude, coming in, leaving your drama at the door. Whether you had a fight with your husband or something happened, you leave it. When you come in that room, you're on. You have to be on. I know we all have our bad days, but I try to every day greet my kids at the door, give them a fist pump or a high five and say, hey, I'm so glad to see you. Or if they were absent, I missed you. Where were you? I'm so glad that you're here. I didn't do that a lot in the beginning. At the beginning of my career, I was like that, but I think I'm becoming, after all these years, you're becoming more, or I am anyway, becoming more aware of, those kids need that. They need that connection with their teacher. They need to know that they're wanted, instead of just like, hi, let's get started on your work. Where it's kind of a cold, I kind of would love to go back to my first 3 or 5 years of teaching and see my students and say, I'm sorry. Can we do a redo? I was just starting out. I didn't know any better. But I'm actually friends with one of my students that I had my second year teaching, and he's now an insurance agent. And I actually was Facebooking him, and I said, I'm sorry, I wasn't the greatest teacher. And he's like, no, you were fine. Like, he doesn't have these bad memories, which is good. But to me, I said, oh, I don't think I was a very good teacher to him, because you just, when you're starting out, you don't know everything. Sure. And you do things that you think are right, and you do what the district tells you to do, and you read, out of textbooks, and everything's kind of dry and boring. And, if I could go back and do it again, we would just have a blast. They would have had a blast. But,
I think all great teachers say that. They want to go back, and because they recognize the growth that they've made, and they stretch themselves and push themselves every single year of their career. So I'm curious, what made you get on Twitter in the first place?
When I was doing my master's program, we had to, actually. Okay. We had to get on... No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. We had to get on. I had to start a blog. For my master's program, which was like in 2013. And I kind of let that go. After my class, I let that just sit dormant for 3 years. Oh, Twitter was actually in 2013. I got on that when my district did a huge technology push. And so we had this really cool day where it was almost like when you go to one of these conferences where they had a whole menu of about, 20 different classes where you could attend that day. And I love that because it was like personalized professional development, And so instead of just the sit and get, and you're getting this, whether, I've been a math teacher and I've had to actually sit in the language arts thing just because that was all that was offered, before, which is such a waste of time. That's my biggest pet peeve, though, a waste of time. Because I remember telling the superintendent, why am I here? I do not teach this. And she's like, well, that's all we have. Good luck. You can integrate it. And I'm thinking, really? You can't come up with a math workshop for the math teachers?
Yeah, then it should have been a PD on integrating language arts into the math classroom, not just...
Yeah, but it was just like, I don't know. I was just, that made me disturbed. So, well, let me go back to Twitter. Okay, so anyway, they offered that, and I went into a class, and that was one of the classes was getting on Twitter and how you can contact teachers from all over the world and learn from one another. And so I'm like, I'm going to try this. And so we all got on, my teachers that I taught with, we got on. We used it for a couple days. We kind of like, hey, we tried it out. And it kind of died off. It was like people didn't do it. I didn't have many contacts. And so I kind of let it go for maybe a year. And then, 2 years ago, I'm going to say, I just decided, you know what? I'm here and I guess I love to buy books. So I'm on Amazon a lot. And I saw like all these books, like that book on 140 tips for educators. Yeah. I got that. Yep. Yeah, and how Twitter's so powerful, and I'm like, and I'm hearing all these different things, and I'm like, I'm going to get back on there and try. So I got back on and like kind of changed I put a more recent picture of myself on and updated my bio and started really looking at principals and teachers that looked like I could learn from them. And then I started figuring out these chats. I was looking at all these chats that I could follow. So I started just kind of lurking at first where, you listen on. Yep, and I loved it. I was like, these are the people I want to hang out with. These are like the positive people. These are teachers and educators and principals that want to grow. They're there for what's best for kids. And I got this like... this reignite, like my spark, the spark came back again. And because sometimes after 25 years of doing it, I love my job. I absolutely love being a teacher. But it was just like, sometimes you just need that, another spark, So this was my other spark. And I thought, this is so fun. This is so cool. So I started doing regular chats and I got more followers. I followed people. I got more followers. And I started telling my colleagues at school, you guys need to get on Twitter. This is really cool. This is like free professional development. They're like, what? I don't have time. I don't have time for that, And I'm like, it doesn't take that long. There's 30-minute chats. There's an hour chat. You can just pick one. I said, language arts teachers, you guys can. And I started a spreadsheet because I wanted to show it to our staff to say, look, here's all the chats that are going on Monday through Sunday. Here's the times that they are. Pick one and just try it, And so I was talking to my principal about that, and she's like, yeah, I think I want you to do that this fall. So I think she's going to have me kind of do like a mini, Twitter 101, to kind of introduce it to our staff and show them all the learning. I mean, there's so many, just the conversations that we have, and then the articles people post, and the blogs that you read, and they're so moving. And then, I just can't. I made a comment, and I know a lot of people do too, said that Twitter has been the most powerful professional development I've ever had in the 25 years I've taught. And that's a big statement. I mean, that's huge. People pay a lot of money for professional development.
Yes, they do.
And I've been sent to a lot of different places. I've been sent to San Antonio and Denver and Dallas. And I know, paying $500 here, $300 here, $1,000 here. And then you pay for your room and your board and your this and that. Well, the districts I don't think are realizing they have this free thing here, this wonderful thing where you don't have to send your teachers anywhere.
Yeah, talk about being personalized. I mean,
right,
and then figure out what you want and get what you want 24 hours a day if you want to.
Yeah, my own time. And then, I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was George Couros that wrote Innovator's Mindset that said, maybe it was him that said, what would happen? What if every teacher got on Twitter for 5 minutes a day, just shared that one thing? I think it was him. I don't know. Maybe I know I read it somewhere, and I did read his book. So I think it was him. But don't quote me on that one. But, think of how powerful that would be.
Absolutely. I mean, think about the positive message you would be sending out to the world about teaching and learning, and about education. Now, are you on any other social media at all? Like, are you on Voxer or anything else?
No, I logged into Voxer, and I haven't really done anything with it. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with it or how it exactly works, to be honest with you.
Have you read Kids Deserve It?
I was going to talk about that. I met Todd.
Did you? Oh, that's so exciting! An edgy hero.
I don't know if I'm supposed to disclose this, but he actually was looking for an assistant principal this summer, and he said, send your resume. I sent my resume, and I interviewed with him. Oh, cool. Unfortunately, I did not get the job, but it was an amazing experience to be chosen, that he liked my resume.
Yeah.
Interviewed me, and I was like, he's like a rock star. And I was trying to explain it to... because it was a far drive. It's like it was an hour and a half to drive to his school. And my parents were saying, why in the world would you want to drive an hour and a half? You don't understand. This is like a rock star education. Because I was trying to put it like, okay, pretend Oprah asked you to do like an internship. You go.
Yes.
And I said, this is a guy that, and it was so weird because I just got finished reading his book and thought, these two guys are amazing. Both of them,
They are.
Adam, he, was the other co-author. But I got to meet him. He's awesome, and we keep in touch, and I read all his stuff, and he's very positive. I mean, I just think he is amazing. So I bought the T-shirt. I actually asked my principal another thing to say, we need to do a book study, and that would be the book to do, I think, because that really puts it in perspective.
Absolutely.
We're here for the kids.
Yes. Now, I asked about Voxer and that book at the same time because I'm actually in a Kids Deserve It Voxer book club study. Okay. And it's a great, great way, if you're thinking about doing that as a book study with your staff or the teachers at your school, Voxer is a great way to do that book study without actually having to organize people all together in the same room to talk about the book. Todd jumps on that Voxer group sometimes and makes comments here and there, but Adam Welcome is probably more active on the Voxer group. I'd be happy to add you to the group if you're interested.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting to the end of the book, but then you could at least get an idea of how the book study works. I'll do that when we're done.
Hey, that sounds good. Yeah. I'd like to get more familiar with the Voxer.
Yeah, it's kind of my next new exciting thing. I love Twitter. Absolutely love Twitter. Yeah. And now I'm like, ooh, I really like this Voxer thing. It's great to, connect with people and hear their voices at the same time. It's makes it a little bit more personal feeling, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd love to try it. I'm always up for trying something new.
Well, good. Good.
And what's the next thing? And whatever. It's funny because every time I learn something new comes out.
It's the pace.
That's how it is.
The pace of change is incredible. Do you have any favorite hashtags or Twitter chats that you're involved in?
I do. I have quite a few I follow every week. I do Lead Up Chat on Saturdays.
Yep.
And right after that, I do Sat Chat WC, which is the West Coast one. I find it better than the regular Sat Chat. It seems to be more organized.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever been on that one. The question and answers, where Sat Chat, if you've ever been on just Sat Chat, it's kind of just random, like people just talking.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like a format sometimes where it's, here's our 8 questions that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, and then they go in order. Helen, what?
I'm sorry, I lost you.
No, that's okay. Have you ever thought about?
I lost you.
Are you still there? Helen, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I want to talk some more chats. Hold on. Do you want those chats?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. When school comes back, I do elementary math chat. They're off for the summer. I like What is School?
Okay, I've seen that one.
Culture of Learning. I don't know if you've done that one. T-Lap, Teach Like a Pirate. Mm-hmm. Learn Like a Pirate. Engage Chat is good. That's Friday nights. Safe Schools Chats. That's on Sundays.
Oh my gosh, Helen, you know all the chats.
I'm on a lot. I did my parents and my family, my husband. He wants to send me to Twitter's Anonymous because he's like every time he comes home from work, he's like, "What's dinner?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm twittering." You're twittering again? You're addicted to it. And I was like, "You don't understand. I'm learning. This is not just like watching TV. I'm learning." And they laugh at my family laughs at me. I probably should prioritize. Well, once school starts. I'm on summer break, so of course I'm on I can look, watch be a part of all these chats, and but once school starts, I'm probably going to have to narrow it down to my favorites.
I think that's what I asked you. Which one were your favorites? You rattled off about 20.
I know, I really do. They're so great. They really are.
That's awesome, Helen. Have you ever thought about starting your own chat?
That's what I was just going to say. I was thinking about, I might start my own chat. What should I write? What should the topic be? So maybe that's, maybe the next year I'll start my own.
I think you should. Just that excitement, that'll get it going.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So speaking of excitement, what most excites you for the new school year?
Oh, well, the stuff I learned from the books I've been reading this summer, especially Kids Deserve It, bringing in that excitement and bringing in through the Teach Like a Pirate and the Learn Like a Pirate ideas as well. I want to implement all those things in my classroom, and I'm really excited about just trying all those different things that they say in their book. Try this, do this. Get out of your comfort zone. I know one in one of the books I read, it said, let your kids sit in pick their own seat the first day. And I've always been the one, it's like, I want to sit them where I want to sit them alphabetically so I get to know their names. And someone challenged me, I think it was Paul Solars that wrote, he wrote Learn Like a Pirate. And I think he said, take a chance. Try it. Why don't you give it a shot? You got to try. Because the kids then, when they pick their own seat, they have... I know it sounds like a small thing to some people, but to kids, I think it's a big thing. realizing it and what he said. It's a big thing to choose your own seat, and there's my spot, and I get to sit where I want, and she's trusting me to sit where I want. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna, I told him I was gonna try it. I said, I think I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone, and I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna let them sit where they want. We'll see how it works. But yeah, getting excited about. Well, we're kicking off a new kind of a behavior management program called Great Expectations. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's not in a lot of states yet. This week I'm doing training on it. So my principal asked me to pilot it. We have one person from every grade level kind of piloting this program. It's teaching kids respect and dignity, but it's also instructional. So it's the first behavior program I've seen that actually has instruction with it. Like she's really bringing in the how to teach math, but adding these character, these things in, and adding character education in, and how would you put, you want to teach this, so how would this relate to science and social studies and ELA? So it's really good. I really love it so far. So I'm going to roll out that this year. That's exciting. Plus, our building is getting it's getting remodeled. So it's going to be like going back to a brand new school. We're getting all new everything, all new carpet, furniture, cabinets, because our school is one of the oldest schools in the district. So they decided it was time to do a remodel. So it's going to be like one of those my HGTV shows where here's the old school, and we're going to walk in and see this beautiful new school, and I think the kids are going to love it, because when you have a nice environment, I think that really makes a difference too, because the kids
absolutely.
The kids feel important, because they'll say, wow, look how nice our school is. They think we're important. We are, and so if I'm in a rundown school, it's showing the kids, oh, they don't really care about this. So they're putting a lot of money into our school. I'm really excited about that. I'm just excited about my team is amazing. I have a wonderful partner. Just excited about. I'm going to get my little group. I'm going to start out, and I'm going to do a Twitter class, and I'm going to get them on my side, and I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them to love Twitter like I do. We're just gonna. Have our own little personal learning network at PLN, and just show them the power of it. And I love school. I'm like a little kid. I get as nervous on the first day of school still, and it'll be my 26th year, and I get butterflies in my stomach, and the night before I can't sleep, and I'm like, oh, my kids are coming tomorrow. I'm so excited. So I really do love teaching. So that's why sometimes too I wonder, do I want to go into administration, because I just love that classroom feeling too. So I go back and forth on, maybe I'm not supposed to be an assistant principal. I don't know. I don't know where my journey is going to, lead me, or where I'm going to end up. But so far, I've loved it. My mother made a good comment to me a couple years ago. She said, I've only known two people in my life that have loved their jobs. You and your father.
Aw, that's wonderful. I can tell that you love it, and
thank you.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, because a lot of people, it's just a job. It's just they go to work, they hate it, they can't wait to retire. And I can retire. I think I figured it out. I can retire in five years. And so my husband's like, you can retire in 5 years, and I'm like, I'm not going to want to retire. Like, I don't want to if I can teach, what am I going to do?
You could be on Twitter all day.
That's true. No, I don't know. Maybe I'll open my own school. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll just open a school, or I don't know what I'll do. I do love what I do, and I cannot see myself retiring in 5 years. But
I bet you don't. So you have all these ideas for the new school year, but you said you stopped or kind of let your blog sort of fade away.
Yeah, because after my class, I didn't really know. I just did it for the class. I didn't do it for any other reason. But actually the book Kids Deserve It, when Todd and Adam, they challenge you to blog and get out there and reflect and write and
share.
Yes. And so I said, you know what? I know I have a blog somewhere, and I had to actually look it up and try to find it again and get on, figure out my password. It had been, 3 years, and I've written, I think, 4 or 5 posts this summer. And I read other people's stuff too, but I mean, it is good. It's good reflection. It's good sometimes to get something out that's bothering me. There was something was bothering me about the teacher expectations that people were talking about. How we get a class sometimes and they're already marked. These 3 kids are gifted. These 3 are special ed.
And then I think for these kids.
And then you have this you prejudge them, and I don't like to look at my cards. And I know people. I have had some principals say, "No, you need to know your kids." I'm like, I want to get to know my kids before I see what anyone else wrote about them. I don't like looking at their folders for a while. I want to get to know them. Give them a fresh start. Was
that your most recent blog post? Was that about teacher expectations, or?
Well, that was one of the most recent ones. Yeah, because it was about also like what do you expect? Because I had a friend that actually her thing was they can't do. She made a comment to me. They can't do that. They can't do it, and that bugs me when I say I'm going to do this with someone, or why don't you try this with your kids, and they say, oh, they can't do that. And that's such a negative. What do you mean they can't do that? Have you even tried it? Do you even know what your kids are capable of? Let's try it. Right. I'm for all. Let's try it. Why not try it and see if they can do it? And the kids that can do it, let's do it. And they ended up doing it. They ended up playing this game. It was like a listening memory game. But it really bugged me that she was such a good friend of mine. She is a good friend of mine, and I hope she never reads that blog. She's not on Twitter, so she's not.
Or listens to this podcast.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't do any of that. She's a Facebook person. But
yeah, you're gonna get her to the other side next year. Does she teach with you?
No, she retired.
Oh, okay.
She retired. But yeah, I was just thinking, here's this great teacher. How can she be so closed-minded? And that really bugged me because she was my friend, and I felt like I was starting to get angry at her because it's like she was stuck in that. She did have pre-K students, but. They were 5 going into kindergarten. They're capable of a lot.
Oh, sure. Absolutely they are.
And I thought that she just had these low expectations. And I know she had been teaching pre-K for a long time, and she was the expert. But I thought, some of these kids, you could just tell walking in, they were bored. I was like, these kids can do other things. And I tried to give her some math stuff when I was a math specialist. I remember giving her some math. I said, hey, I went to this math workshop. Why don't you try this with your kids? And she's looking at it and going, oh, I don't know. We don't do a lot of math. I'm like, that's the problem. The lower grades aren't doing a lot of math with kids. They're doing a lot of reading.
Yeah. And kids just at that age, like, intuitively do math without it, like, feeling like you're doing math, like in a traditional kind of school sense.
So I had to show her some stuff I had, and she actually really liked it, and she took that on. It was just easy stuff like having a hundredths chart, and she would sit with a small group, and I'd have the kids have little bingo chips and say, put the number on, just starting easy where, you put a chip on the number 13. Sure. Then you go harder, put the kids don't have a good grasp of what's the number that comes before 13.
Right.
They have a really hard time with that before and after. Mm-hmm. And then you got harder and harder. But I lent her my book, and she actually said that kids liked it, and she was really surprised that they could do it. And that's another thing. It's like, we have to get out of that mindset that they can't do it or they're too young.
Small steps. It sounds like you had a what would they call it? A hashtag EduWin. With that one.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I've seen it a few times. Maybe I've used it myself. I don't know.
I like that. Yeah. So yeah, I blogged about homework because homework's such a hot topic.
Sure.
Issue, and I blogged about what else did I blog about? I think one was just, it was the first day of school coming up and how excited I was, and I had a countdown, and I'm like, there's only 47 more days till school starts, and I got like hate mail from my colleagues, like, shut up, we haven't even started our summer. What are you so excited about? And I'm like, I'm just counting down till,
That's so cute.
Yeah, they're like, you're crazy, Helen, you're crazy. I'm like, I try to think of it positively, though, because they said, that was another thing I learned on Twitter last year. Don't have that countdown to school's out. Like, we have 35 days left. And I would write on the board, we have 35 days left together.
Right.
Because that makes it so different. Like, I'm not trying to get rid of them. We have 35 days, and I don't want to sound like a martyr or anything. I'm not, perfect. But I mean, making them feel important. Like, I didn't want them to think we're having a countdown. Like, I can't wait to get you out of here. I think that's sometimes they feel like that. And I'm like, we only have 35 days left, and then we only have 30. And you can feel the kids going, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to 5th grade, And I'm like, well, you'll come back and visit me. Just being on Twitter this last year and reading the books I've read and hearing all these great ideas and being positive, I think it's really changed my teaching this last year, where I probably had the best year I've ever had. And I say that with all honesty. I mean, I did not want to let those kids go. I just, I loved each and every, though, you always love your kids, but this was a special, like, we had a bond. We had just a special bond. And I think it was just because I took in things I learned from my PLN and being positive and really reaching them and meeting them where they are and trying all these new things. And teaching like a pirate, getting out there and doing crazy things, being wild. And even though because some people get that thing like, oh, you've been teaching so, I'm almost 50. That's old, oh, she's the old teacher. I don't want to be that teacher in the school that's the old grouchy teacher.
50's not old.
50
is not old.
Good, thank you.
I mean, I might have thought that when I was about 10, but
yeah, right. We thought that when we were younger. But I just thought, I just crack up because I tell my friends, if I get to that point where you see me griping every day, griping about kids and griping about them and saying, oh, these kids are hard, this is the worst group I've ever had, tell me, Helen, it's time to retire. If I ever get like that.
Helen, I've only talked to you for, 45 minutes. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And that's a good thing. That's what kids deserve. They deserve a teacher who's going to come in passionate about what they do, no matter if it's year 1 or year 42. So I just want to, quickly tell you how much I appreciate that, how much I appreciate the enthusiasm that you obviously bring to your classroom and the willingness that you have to just continue learning and growing. And I really encourage you to continue writing your blog because I think you will have a great story to share with other teachers about things that you're trying out in your classroom. It can be a good resource for other people to connect with. So don't let it fade away.
Okay.
So just one last question. What would be one piece of advice that you would give to a brand new teacher?
Well, I had good advice my first year. I remember a teacher saying, if something's not working, change it. Because I think we got caught up on, I guess she was saying too, you might set up your room a certain way. I know that sounds simple, but just setting this up, or maybe a procedure you have, or maybe a rule you have. If it doesn't work, change it. Like, why keep that rule all year long? Well, I put this rule on poster board and I laminated it, so it has to be the rule all year long. I think a lot of teachers get like that. They're like, well, this is the rule I put on here, and I'm not. But I mean, if things don't work, we have the power to change it, and I love that because I thought, wow, she's right. So even in my first year, like the way I group my kids, it wasn't working out, and so we did it for a couple of days, and then the next Monday when they came in, I said, hey guys, last week it wasn't a great week, it didn't work out. I thought over the weekend, like, we're going to do this kind of configuration. We're going to try this. Okay. Kids are flexible. So they're like, okay, let's try this, and I said, I want our classroom to flow. I wanted the class to work. So I think teachers have to understand it doesn't have to be so rigid, that you can change. You need to change and adapt to your kids, because you're going to get different kids every year.
Sure. I think that's great advice. I think it's a great way to also model to students that it's okay to try something, and if it doesn't work out, then to change it and just be like completely transparent about it, like in the example you shared. Now, I know, Helen, after people listen to this podcast and they hear your excitement in your voice, they are going to want to know how to connect with you, how to kind of read your story further. So can you kind of share both your Twitter handle and your blog website so people can find you?
Sure. My Twitter handle is @HelenWilt. It's simple. And my blog is helenwilt@blogspot.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So, want to touch base with someone who's been in the classroom for 25 years, has a lot of passion and energy and, commitment to the job of teacher. Connect with her at Helen Wilt on Twitter and at helenwilt.blogspot.com. Did I get those right?
Hold on, let me check. It is, yeah. It's helenwilt.blogspot.com.
Okay, after I said it, it made you start thinking. So,
yeah.
All right, Helen, thank you so much for taking this last hour to chat with me. I've really enjoyed it. I appreciate, again, your enthusiasm, and I look forward to connecting with you further on Twitter.
Well, thank you so much. It was fun.
Yes, it's fun, isn't it? Tell everybody it's fun. We've got to keep sharing the love. All right. Have a good evening.
Hey, you too. Thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, for listening in on the Pittsburgh Gal Principal Podcast. I am always excited to connect with women in education, learn how they are balancing work and home, as well as challenging the status quo about what it means to be a successful woman. My podcast is all about elevating the voices of women, so please share these stories with your friends and your colleagues. Find me on Twitter at @eclaire_ahs. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.